Hey everyone, welcome back to Codehunter Pro. In today's video, we will build an Android app using Kotlin that takes user input and transfer data between activities. By the end of this tutorial, you will know how to pass the data between screens and use interfaces for communication. So let's get started. So first, let's open our Android Studio and create a new project. Let me fast forward the process to save some time. So now let's design the UI part. So we have our activity underscore main. So let's minimize. Okay. So let's me zoom it. We don't need this text view. So let's delete the text view from here. Now we need two input fields, and below that we need a button to submit the input. So for taking inputs from the user, we need plain text. So let's add the plain text one for our first name. And we need another plain text for here for the last name section. Let's connect this part. Let me quickly fix the UI part. Over here, I am going to add another text view to receive the data from the second activity. So let's create the second activity now. Go to the project, click on, sorry, right click on this folder, then activity, create that, select the empty view activity, the second activity, then finish. Now let's remove the unusable code from here. Now let me quickly set up the XML file for the second activity. So I have created one text view over here to receive the data from the main activity, and one button over here to jump to the main activity again from the second activity. Now let's go to the main activity and initialize our widgets. So let me fast forward the steps over here. The initialization part has been completed for our widgets. Now we need to create two variables where we are actually going to store our data. So variables to store the user data. So we'll use var first name and colon. It will be an of type string. We'll do the same thing with the last name. Now we need to create a set on click listener on our button. So let me comment down the button click event. Now button dot set on click listener. Now we need to assign the edit text data inside the first name. So we'll use first name equals to fname.text.toString, and we'll do the same thing with the last name so that we can access the data of edit text. Now we need to check if the user given any input or not. So let me comment it out first, and after that we will use the if condition for both the fields. So let me write down the code first and then I will explain the code to you. So in this part we have used if condition to check if the first name field is empty or not with the help of isEmpty method. And if the field is empty, then we are providing this toast message to the user and return back to the set on click listen. We have done the same thing for the last name as well. Now let's create the intent part for our main activity. So let me comment it out first and quickly write the code and then I will explain. In this part, we have created a variable named as intent. Inside of this variable, we use intent to jump from main activity to second activity. After that, we use the getExtra method to pass our first name in a form of key value pair. We use the same thing with the last name. So let me comment it out first. We have used start activity to launch the intent part. So let's come to the second activity. Here we will initialize the widget first. We only have one text view and one button. So this is our text view and this is a button. So let me quickly initialize it with second activity. Now we have to create the variables where we are actually receiving the data using the intent. So let me comment it out first. Now we'll use var first name, which will be a string type, and after that, with the help of equals to, we will use intent dot get string extra method, and within the brackets we'll use double quotation and we'll pass the key for first name. Now we need to convert this data in string format, so we'll use dot to string method to convert it into a string. Let me check if I have given the same key name. Yeah, it is first name, and we have provided the same thing within the key value pair. So let me quickly write the code for the last name. So we have completed the part where we are receiving the data from the main activity, and we have converted into a strings type data. Now let's set the text inside the text message using dot text, and then we will use the string interpolation. So you can use the dollar sign to and the variable name for string interpolation. Let me remove this part, it's too extra like this. Let me remove this part to the end, and yeah, and this looks fine. Let me write the comment now. So setting the text to the text view. So let me run the app first and let's see. Okay, the app is running fine. Let me enter the first name. Now let's check if our empty field condition is working or not. Okay, hit the submit. Yeah, it's working now. So let's enter the last name and check if intent part is working or not. Okay, so data is coming from the main activity, and now let's write code for the back to main button. So let me just stop the app and minimize it from here. Now let's create our interface first. So I will name it as custom interface, and we have an abstract method called fun back to main, and inside the parameter we have item, which is a string type. So now we have to create the object which will hold the instance of the interface. Let's create object called interface. Since the call interface object is actually holding the custom interface instance, so we have to use let init var custom interface inside the object. So let's write the function for the button now. So we have to use set on click listener on our button. Write the button name, which is our back to main dot set on click listener. Now inside this button we have to perform the task where we are navigating to main activity from the second activity. So let's use the object name, which is called interface. Now we will use the dot and we'll write the instance of the
custom interface. So let's write down the custom interface. Now we have to use again dot and use the abstract method, which is our back to main. So let's write back to main. Let me change the text from here. So let's say this data is coming from second activity, and we don't need the second activity anymore, so we have to write finish after this so that second activity will get close. So let's go to the main activity and now write the code for our abstract method. So let's go to there, and after the override function on create, we have to create the another function or override back to main, which is the abstract function. Okay, well, now we have to initiate the text, this one, so it will be initiated inside the override back to main function. And now we have to set the text, so we have to show the text message which is actually coming from the second activity. So text view dot text equals to true item, so inside the item it will get stored as a string. So comment it out. Okay, so we can say this text message text view. So now let's show as toast message, where we are actually showing the data. Let me edit it. We can say jump back to main activity. Yeah, now let's see. Let me try. I have to write the custom interface. So custom interface, and we have to add one more thing. So let me, yes, now we have to assign the interface to the call object, which is our object. So let me comment it out quickly. To the let me remove it at the object name. So call interface. So we will actually assign the current instance to the static variable, which is our custom interface. So call interface our object name. With the help of dot operator, we are using the assigning the value to static variable called custom interface, and this is our current instance. Okay, it is giving me an error. Okay, I mistyped the override name, so let me quickly. Okay, now I fixed it, so let's run the code. So I have already checked the first step where we are passing the data from the main activity. So let me quickly submit the data, and now let's click on the back to main. Okay, now you can show the toast message is coming and the data is coming from the second activity. So it is working fine. Let me just increase the text size over here. It is okay, and inside of second activity we will also increase the size. Let's say 25. Okay, this will should work. Let's run it. Now first go into Pro, submit. Yeah, it looks fine.
And that's it, guys. We have successfully built an Android app that passes data between activities. So if you found this tutorial helpful, then don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Code Hunter Pro for more awesome tutorials. So see you in the next video.